Now, sir, can I ask my fanboy questions?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. And permission to film it, because this is my dream I always wanted to
Question
ask.
number one.
It's all right? I ain't gonna ask you nothing crazy. It's all fanboy shit I always wanted to ask.
Yeah,
Oh, you ready? Okay. Now watch this. When you first made your first song with Easy, how did that shit feel?
Bro, that shit was, we was tripping, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, like, the first song we did with him, like, when he actually got on was that, For the Love of Money. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't hear the, he was bullshitting, like, doing the verse for a long time. Because, you know, when he get in the booth, he kick everybody out the motherfucker. Like, everybody got to get out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we ain't hear this shit for like 2 or 3 weeks after that session, and then he played it for us, and we heard this shit. We was like, yo, this shit is. We couldn't wait to get that shit on tape and let motherfuckers hear it. It was like, nigga, we got Easy E on a motherfucking song.
Right.
Couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? That shit was crazy.
How I'm feeling right now, being able to talk to him about this shit. All right, moving on. Next question. So look, you got to work with all my greatest heroes. So how did it work when you first got the call about doing the song with Biggie? How did that work?
Shit.
Was the song already made, already being cooked, and then?
Yeah. Stevie J had the beat. You know, Stevie J did the beat, and we was out in L.A. We was just, you know what I'm saying, we was out here like working on something. We got the call from Puff, and he was like, yo, Big out here, and he wanted to get y'all on the album. You know what I'm saying? And we was like, man, shit, hell yeah, shit, let's do it. Let's go. And, you know what I'm saying, we went to the studio, and Big set it out. We went up in that motherfucker, like, heard the track, went straight in the booth and jumped on it, and like, got in, like, bam, 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 knocked it out. And Big took this shit home. He was like, man, I want to take this shit home and study this shit. And I get back. But we didn't hear that till after he passed away. You know what I'm saying? We didn't hear his verse after he passed away. So, yeah, that's how that went down.
Same question. Now look, so you got Easy, you got Biggie, and then you get to do a song with Pac.
Yes, sir.
How was that?
Man, that shit was cool. The session actually took place with Busy and Pac. You know what I'm saying? And but we had saw him in traffic like a few times before that, and we kept talking about it. Yeah, we gotta get in the studio, man, and get this song because everybody waiting for it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make the Thug connection. Got to. And he was like, the last time we saw him, he was like, yo, hell yeah, let's make this shit happen. So him and Busy happened to run across each other in the studio, and they went in and worked on some shit. And man, we heard it and was like, yo, this is the one. Let's get on this shit. That shit came out. That shit is classic.
I want to say thank you on behalf of everybody in the world because I've lifted so much weights and so many pull-ups. I almost crashed my car so many times with that shit. So thank you. My last couple of questions. How did the style originate for y'all having that kind of flow? Because you have to realize, if people don't tell you enough, that's one of the dopest styles ever. So how did that shit formulate?
Man, that shit is honestly, I was locked up in the county jail back in Ohio. And I was sitting up, this is the days that I was watching BET, and this was like Video Soul and all that shit was on.
Donnie Simpson, all the dope shit.
Yeah,
Salute.
Video Soul, Rap City, and all that shit was on there. And Big Daddy Kane came on, one of my favorite rappers.
Shouts out to Big Daddy Kane, one of my favorite heroes.
Came on, and he came on, and he did like a little line where he was like, but he stopped. And I was like, man, if somebody just did that shit like just continuously and just didn't stop, that shit would be crazy. Like, so I wrote a rap, this crazy shit. This shit was like non-stop, and I got out and I said it to my dudes, and it was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And then they all just went and they all started rapping like that, and they brought their own style and sound to the shit. Everybody's voice and pitch made it sound different. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that shit built. And then by us, like when we learned each other's verses, like we started ad-libbing it, helping them out, and like when we would ad-lib, it started sounding like harmony. So this shit, we started harmonizing and shit. So that's where the harmonizing came from. That shit just gradually came about.
Genius. Right. See, sometimes county jail is all right. And in this case, we gonna thank them punk ass police.
Yeah.
for having him there, and we gonna thank Video Soul and all that shit for giving us something that's gonna change the world. And Big Daddy Kane, I would have never known that came. Look at the inspiration and the connectivity. Like R.A.W. Kane helped
Kane, for real.
Sprinkle the ingredients for something this brilliant and something this unique. So these are my last two questions. Did you know? You seldom know, but when you guys made Crossroads, how did you feel seeing what it did for the world? How it healed people, even though it was a sad thing, and I heard it in so many funerals, and just the way the song uplifted people. Did you know it was gonna do that, or did you already have? Did you get goosebumps when you was cutting that shit, or how did that work?
Man, honestly, we just went in. We were just making a song because we wasn't even like really thinking, it was gonna be like this classic song at all. We went in because as soon as we got on with E, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of our family members and close friends started like passing away and getting killed in Cleveland. And Easy passed away at the same time. So you know what I'm saying, like Easy passed away. Wishbone's Uncle Charles was robbed and like shot in the face and killed.
Wow.
My cousin Terry was shot in the head and killed. My neighbor, one of my closest friends, his little brother was murdered. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like a lot of our people was like getting killed. So we was like, yo, we should remake this song because we had the original song Crossroads.
Right.
We had made for one of our dudes that passed away. He was like a dude that was with us all the time. Like if he'd have been alive, he'd still been with us today. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that was our dude. So we made the song for him, but then when everybody else passed away, we went back and remixed the song and just made it for our dead homies, and that shit just like took off everywhere. You know what I'm saying?
It was a lot of souls lifting that up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wow. See, the gifts that you get to hear, that you get to know, right from the individuals themselves that just changed the world. You know you changed the world, right? Y'all did that, right?
Man.
So my last ignorant ass question. Now on Thuggish Ruggish Bone, the singer Tasha, why did she not ever have a solo album? Because to me, she was like the Jewel. She was like Val Young. It's a stupid ass question, but I loved it. She say, I am Tasha. I'm like, it was like my auntie or my big sister. I'm fucking with her. Where's her solo album? So if you can't explain that or just, honestly, why did Tasha have an album?
Man, honestly, I don't even, I don't know what really happened to her after the whole Thuggish Ruggish Bone thing. Like I know she had got signed to Ruthless and she put a single out.
Oh wow! What was the single called? Cause see, I never even knew this. Now I gotta go get it.
She redid the song that old school song that and I just got to be free.
Oh
yeah, hell yeah.
She did Denise Williams over.
Yeah. She redid that. But after that, I ain't heard nothing. I heard she was a little crazy now, bro.
There you go. And we're going to leave it there. We're going to keep it on.
But if you ain't crazy, I'm sorry.
No. Yeah. Positive vibes. No negative. I'm just saying, I was always a fan. We said, she introduced everybody, and then she said, I am Tasha. I'm fucking with Tasha. So salute to you, Tasha. This is the end of my ignorant ass interview. This is Bishop Lamont. That's the legendary Krayzie Bone. And this has been Sound Lab Society. It's been some real questions. But just always remember this. Pay homage to your heroes. Don't have no fucking egos about this shit. Without these individuals, without the ones that came before them, we wouldn't have the music that we have now. So stop all that punk shit thinking you dope. You can't be fresh without them, because I know you was studying all that shit like I studied that shit. So pay respect when you see these real niggas. That's it. Message.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well said, bro.
Fucking awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
That was great.
Appreciate it.
Fucking Tasha. That was I was like, where's Tasha?